Hi. Over the last couple weeks, there's a topic that's come up with quite a few of my coaching clients. And so I figured I'd go ahead and talk about it here too, because if it's relevant there, it's probably relevant here as well. And this is something that I like to call reframing your situation. So a lot of times what happens is if we want something, like if you want a new relationship or a new job or whatever the case may be, you want something, but you run into an obstacle or suddenly you're not quite so sure that it's on its way, the natural tendency is to automatically place all of your limitations onto that situation. So for example, let's say that she wants to attract her husband, okay? And she starts dating a new guy. And at first she's real excited, and then something happens. Like he doesn't call right away, or he says something that's not very nice, or he pulls back a little bit. And in that moment, it can be very natural if that woman is carrying some limitations to place them on the situation. So he doesn't like me. He's not the marrying type. I can't trust him. She might start pointing to that one little tiny isolated incident that by itself really doesn't mean anything. All right, if a guy hasn't called in a day, it doesn't mean he doesn't trust you. It doesn't mean that, he's not the marrying kind. But a lot of times we go ahead and take a little tiny issue and we blow it up to mean something that it doesn't. And then when we do that, what ends up happening is we end up pushing away what we want, because we're looking at this little tiny issue and making it our limitation and allowing our limitation to get bigger and bigger. So if you find yourself in a situation like that where there's something that you want, but you run into an obstacle, you're having some kind of a frustration, be wary of that and reframe your situation. So in that moment, instead of looking at that issue and immediately saying, oh, he doesn't like me, oh, I can't trust him, come up with some other kind of excuse for his behavior that makes you feel good. Like, oh, maybe he's trying to make me wait because he, is trying to play a little hard to get because he wants my attention. Or, maybe what he was saying was really very nice. I just didn't understand what he was saying and it'll make sense later. Or, maybe he hasn't called because he wants to speak to me in person. So reframe the situation, put a positive spin on the situation. And the trick about this trick is keep adding possibilities until you start to feel better. Once the anxiety goes away and you start feeling like, okay, well, maybe this happened for a really good reason. Once you feel like that, you will know that you have successfully reframed the situation. And now you're looking at that through a positive lens, much more likely to encourage you to continue down the track that you're wanting to go with that manifestation. So again, if you're feeling a little negative about something small that's happened, stop, take a deep breath, and reframe the situation.